Today, friends, I need your help. I'm on the verge of booking my beloved Porsche 996 in to have its IMS bearing replaced. And I'm trying to figure out what they should do whilst we're in there as good, sensible preventative maintenance, so that I save myself the need to have the engine out again after something has grenaded. What do I mean? Well, you should know that my car is a Tiptronic, and to replace the IMS, that means that both the engine and the transmission have to come out. So I have an opportunity, probably the only opportunity in many, many years to get stuff done whilst the car is in such a thorough state of dismantlement. You just remember that when it comes to being a mechanic, I'm an absolute moron. I have a good working knowledge of the common issues and the severity of what could happen to a Porsche 996 if something goes boom, but I don't fully understand the likelihood or frequency of these things happening, or how one thing can lead to another in the Porsche M96 engine. I'd really like us as a group to go to town on this one in the comments section down below, and not only help me to figure it out, but also for this video to be a place where anyone else who is thinking about replacing their own IMS bearing on their Porsche 996 to be able to retrieve good quality information. I don't need advice on the type of IMS bearing to use. That ship has sailed, and together we will be following the car through the process of replacement, so you can all see what I have picked and why. So look out for subsequent videos to this one to add to my collection of videos on my own Porsche 996. I would like to know your thoughts on the whilst you're in there jobs, and I'm going to take you through a list of candidates together with my thoughts. My goal is to keep my car in tip-top shape, and also to de-risk the Porsche 996 of its well-known gremlins before they blow up in my face. I must tell you that if one ignores the IMS bearing and other known engine weaknesses, the Porsche 996 is a formidable car. I've made videos in the past and people have told me that it's complete junk. It isn't, and I'm going to try and make it every bit as reliable and strong as any other Porsche 911. My own car is a very low mileage car, just 28,500 miles, and it's in truly great shape, and I want to keep it that way. It's not a money no object exercise though, because just doing the IMS will be expensive enough given the engine and transmission have to come out. But it would be good to know the must do jobs and the nice to do jobs. So let's have some discussion about it all in the comments below this video. You might also remember that in my video when I had the car serviced at SST in Danbury in the summer, we had a chat on camera with the Porsche manager there about whilst you're in there jobs on a Porsche 996 IMS replacement, and he made some recommendations too. The link to that video is per above, and take a look at it because there's good advice there, but you'll see them crop up in this video too, as well as others. So let's look at the top 10 suggestions or ideas that I'm thinking about. I'll tell you the results of my own research, and then you tell me what you think in the comments down below. A lot of these relate to things that become brittle with age. In no particular order then, number 10, the Air Oil Separator or AOS. This is a known weak spot. I understand these were brittle from the factory, and 17 years and various cycles of heat and cold can't have been kind to it. When they start to go, you get a lot of smoke out of the exhaust, James Bond levels of smoke, and ultimately engine damage. My research also indicates that these are very hard to replace with the engine in. So is this a false economy to leave it unchanged when the engine is out? After my one and only track day, I did get some smoke out the back for a very short time and was told this is normal and not a sign that the AOS is failing. I am, however, leaning towards getting this one done. Number 9, the water pump. Same deal as the AOS, hard to get to and a known weak spot. The issue here is the impeller inside the pump can fail, and if it does, it can lead to overheating, which, with an engine known to suffer bore scoring from excessive heat, probably should be looked at, right? In the video with SST, they told me that I have older style coolant in it, which likely indicates that I've never had a problem. But is this a good investment for the future? $349, including gaskets, belts and bolts, but not tax and fitting. Number 8, low temperature thermostat. The theory here is that by fitting one of these you keep your engine cooler for longer as it opens up at a lower temperature. What do you think though? Snake oil or good preventative maintenance? $49 plus tax and fitting. This and the water pump are included as things I would probably will get done, but let me know what you think, please. Number 7. Coils and plugs. You'll remember the advice given to me by SST. If you're doing the plugs, then you may as well do the coils. I have the older, shorter coils, which probably indicates they are the original coils that came with the car, and thus 17 years old. I know this won't make the car drive any differently, but they are prone to being brittle and cracking. So my question is if this is an easy job to do with the engine in, or should I just bite the bullet whilst the engine is out and get them done? $350 was the price SST indicated last time. My thoughts here are that I will get the plugs done and get them to have a look at the coils to see what state they are in. Number 6, and you were waiting for this, the rear main seal, or RMS. Now this has not given me any problems at all. It isn't leaking as far as I can tell, and the general consensus from my own research appears to be that if it ain't broke, don't fix it because you might cause a problem rather than solve one. This isn't being penny wise and dollar foolish because you wouldn't change the car's rear view mirror if it wasn't cracked, would you? But I am just making sure here that you guys agree with the general consensus. A rear main seal itself is just $30. I don't think I'm going to get this done because I'm not getting any leaks at all, but what do you think? Number 5, and adding to the list of things that are made of materials that go brittle over time, the drive belt. Cheap and surely on the why the hell not list here, right? Seems like good preventative maintenance to me, but just tell me what you think. I'm interested to know whether you'd get this done. Number 4, fluids flush. I mean, I think this will be done anyway as the engine is out, but I wanted to get your thoughts on this. Oil, coolant and gearbox, all 3? Is that the advice? I think I'll get this done anyway, and we'll get them to do the gearbox as well. Number 3, magnetic oil plug. I can't imagine this is expensive, but is it also frippery nonsense as well? Once I get my IMS done, then I'm good, right? So what's the point? Number 2, what can you tell me about the brake line that I'm told runs over the top of the transmission? I'm sure I remember something about this, but I can't seem to find information about it and was hoping you might be able to help me. I was told this is in the brittle if it's old category, and it's a bit scary to think that my brakes might fail, so if you know anything about this, please let me know. Lastly, number 1, timing chain guides. I'm told that these are plastic and can contribute to engine failure should they break off and get ingested by the IMS somehow. What can you guys tell me here? Is that expensive to do? Is it good recommended maintenance, or should I just not worry? So that's my list of things to consider, but have I missed anything? Please let me know. I suppose you could go on and on and on until you've rebuilt the entire car, and that's not the mission at all here. I just need advice from you guys on what you think the best preventative maintenance is based on the risk of something happening. I hope this video is helpful to anyone else in my position and looking to mitigate the risk out of a Porsche 996. Over to you then, have at it. I would really love to get your experience and advice. Otherwise, thanks for watching, stay tuned for more videos soon, and subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. A like would also be very much appreciated if you are still with me at the end of this video. Thanks very much for watching, see you soon.